So I just witnessed Ohara Davies beat the living shit out of this guy's name I never heard of, Tom Farrell. Farrell. One thing I have to say is, this Tom Farrell guy basically has Amir Khan's chin. I mean, every time Ohara Davies will land flush, this dude will go flying. I mean, in the first round, he hits him with that like little short hook, and he just the way he fell, I thought the fight was over. I was like, oh, this is over. But to this guy's credit, he kept coming up. I thought they should have stopped this fight a long time ago. This Tom Farrell will probably have brain damage after this beating he took, and he'll probably never be the same because Tom Farrell didn't just lose against Ohara Davies. He got the shit beat out of him. If you want to see somebody get the shit beat out of him in boxing, watch Ohara Davies versus Tom Farrell. Ohara Davies beat the living crap out of Tom Farrell. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to call this. Tom Farrell will never be the same. This guy should retire because when you sustain a beating like this, it tends to ruin a person's career. And I have a feeling his cornerman, by letting him stay in there, they should have stopped this fight. Like, this fight lasted 7 rounds. They should have stopped this fight in like round 2, round 3. Because his corner decided, and because the referee decided to let him stay for 7 rounds, they've ruined his career. This guy's never going to be the same. He's basically brain damaged now. I'm telling you right now, this guy is never going to be the same. He might even go into a coma because of the beating he sustained. We might hear the next day, breaking news, Tom Farrell collapses and is rushed to the hospital. I'm telling you. Because he took a really terrible beating against this fight. Tom Farrell was never in the fight. Ohara Davies was just so much bigger and so much stronger than him. I still think Ohara Davies looks very amateurish. When Ohara Davies fought Josh Taylor, in my post-fight video, I said this guy is a crude fighter. He's very amateurish, and he has no heart. I called him a quitter. And I still stick by that. Despite the fact that he beat the living shit out of Tom Farrell. Tom Farrell is a nobody. He's a low-level guy. Ohara Davies was supposed to do this against him. But in this fight, he still looked really crude. He still looked really amateurish. He still looked the exact same way he did against Josh Taylor. I still think he's a quitter because once you quit in the sport of boxing, you will always quit for the rest of your career. He will always be a quitter. He will quit again when he steps up in class. I'm not really impressed with this victory because he fought this guy who was a nobody, and this guy has no chin. He does have heart, I'll give him that, but he has no chin. And I'm still not impressed with Ohara Davies. I still think he's overrated. A lot of British fans act like this guy was the greatest thing since sliced bread. He wasn't shit because he got exposed by Josh Taylor. And I still think he looks very amateurish. To me, he's a very amateurish type of fighter. Again, Tom Farrell is probably gonna have some brain damage after this fight. He just took a sustained beating. He got dropped like 6 times. Like, it was just ridiculous. He just got the crap beat out of him. And he's probably gonna be mentally impaired because of this. Like, I'm telling you, this was like watching a man versus a boy. I mean, this Tom Farrell guy just looked like he got the crap beat out of him. Like he was just a little boy. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't get into the fight. Ohara Davies just looked so much bigger and stronger than him. And this Tom Farrell guy had no power, so he couldn't fend him off. He showed a lot of heart, but I think this is one of those situations where the corner should have stopped the fight because I have a feeling this guy is going to have brain damage now because he just took a horrible beating in this fight. And Ohara Davies, I still think he's going to... Even if he moves on to fight another... I wish him nothing but the best, but... The thing is, whenever I see a fighter quit in a boxing match, I lose faith in him. because that means he shows no heart. And for example, this guy right here that he just beat the crap out of, this Tom Farrell guy, this guy showed more heart than Ohara Davies did against Josh Taylor, because when Josh Taylor was beating the crap out of Ohara Davies, he quit. He turned around and he bent over and he wilted and he quit. You compare that to this Tom Farrell guy. This Tom Farrell guy just let Ohara Davies beat the crap out of him and he never quit. Even when the referee stopped the fight, he still complained. So this Tom Farrell guy has more heart. That's right, he has more heart than Ohara Davies. Despite the fact that Ohara Davies beat the shit out of him, he has more heart than Ohara Davies, because he showed tonight more heart than Ohara Davies did against Josh Taylor. But yeah, it's just a very sad fight. This Tom Farrell guy is probably brain damaged now, and Ohara Davies moves on to bigger and better things. I still don't think he's ever gonna be world level, and I still don't think he'll ever be a champion, because he quit. And I don't care what happens in his career. Once you quit, you will always quit. He's one of those guys that when things aren't going his way and a fighter's getting the better of him, he quits. And again, once it quit, I'm gonna keep saying this. This guy's gonna quit again in the future one day. I don't know who's gonna make him quit, but a guy will make him quit. Because once you quit in boxing, you will always be a quitter. And that's all I have to say, guys. Greg, I'm out. Thanks for watching.